Hey guys, I just want to let you know that we will be taking a hiatus. I don't know how to say it, but we will be taking one of those for next week. So just check out our podcast and our YouTubes. Until then, we'll hold you over with some different reviews that we have on the site, theblkreviewer.com. Please check us out. In addition, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube as well. Thank you.
I'm Ember, and this is Gabby, and welcome back to the Black Reviewer. Today, we are reviewing the movie Host. Gabby?
Absolutely. So, Host is about six friends who basically they hire a medium to do a séance. Just randomly, I don't know why the hell they decided to do this, but hired a séance over Zoom so that they could like do some weird shit. Like, I don't know. It was really okay. I'm not good at doing intros, y'all. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna put this out there, especially for horror films, because I don't know why they made this decision to do this at all. But yeah, so six friends, they hire a medium to do a séance, and some wild shit start happening while they're on the Zoom call. So that is the gist and the plot of the movie. But Ember, it was a short film. It felt like a short film. It was a short film. It was like 50, what was it, 56 minutes, 55
like
minutes?
50 minutes, yeah. As long as a Zoom call can be before you like don't pay for it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that 50 minutes, a lot of shit happened. Let me just put that out there. A lot of people ended up missing. A lot of people ended up doing.
A lot of people ain't making it to part two.
I ain't making it part two. They ain't gonna be in part two. What I'm saying?
No.
Yo, oh my gosh. So I don't know, how'd you feel about the film? Because I know how I felt about it.
So I really enjoyed it. This movie came out in 2020, like at the beginning of the pandemic. And well, kind of like in the middle, so like March towards the end, going into April.
Yeah.
The movie came out on Shudder, and we talked about it in our last podcast YouTube video. Like just really briefly. But it takes place during the pandemic. They're interacting through Zoom, so it's a whole Zoom thing. I made Gabby watch it on the computer. I've seen the movie about.
Why you do me like this? Okay?
I've seen the movie about 6 times. I've watched it twice by myself. I've watched it with Sean. I've watched it with Chris. I watched it again, and I was like, Gabby, we gotta watch it. And she was like,
I'm glad it was short. I'm glad it was short, because if it was any longer, I probably wouldn't have been able to get through the rest of it, because especially when we were doing, we did this whole casted thing. So I had to look at the movie through my computer and the shit that's happening is through a computer. So it looked like so I lit some candles because I was like, I don't do this. But yeah, I mean, keep going.
Yeah, I liked the movie. I really enjoyed it. It was just like, it was nice to watch something, take place. And it was nice to see some art made that wasn't stupid, bad, or like anything like that in the middle of a pandemic. Like not even the middle, in the beginning of a pandemic. So I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was like done flawlessly.
Honestly, it was. It was directed by Rob Savage. I had never really seen any of his work before, which is pretty interesting. And as far as I know, Ember, you said that it was directed, everything was via Zoom. So the whole entire movie was directed through Zoom. It's probably, no, I'm not going to say probably. It's way better than Lockdown.
I mean, we've said that about every movie. We've been like, it's better than Lockdown.
Y'all. Don't waste your time. I'm just saying with that one. But with this movie, definitely worth the watch. I'm not a big horror movie fan as is, but this one was definitely really good. It didn't like, with a lot of horror films, it's very like, you don't know anybody. We've already discussed this in like the previous
the cast is a bunch of people podcast. That we do not know.
We do not know. I want to put some names out there just in case people do want to give them recognition. Haley Bishop, She plays Haley. There's another person named Gemma. She plays Gemma in the film.
Yeah, everybody goes Emma. By
their actual name, which is pretty funny.
And that's what's even like, I think to me, the reason I like it is because it kind of reminds me of like a more modern like Hannibal Holocaust, where like these people, you didn't know who they were, you had never seen them in anything before, and then they like die, and people in real life thought that these people were dead, and like the director went to court about it. I mean, we all have like more knowledge of movies and like things like that happening, like because other movies are like that, like Blair Witch people thought Blair Witch was like that too,
the real
but this one, like, we all kind of understand the whole casting people that we don't know, let them keep their government names. It seems more realistic, and then you put it through Zoom, so when you're watching it, it kind of reminds me of like there's like these games like you can play, interactive games, like this one is called Take This Lollipop, and it's a group of people talking with you through Zoom, and they're literally reacting to what you're saying. It's a game, and like it's really scary. It's like, I think it's like 99 cents online, you can like play it. It's like, I want to say
that's
like
wild as shit.
4 minutes long.
Don't ask me to do that, Ember.
Oh, I haven't done it. I've only watched YouTube videos of it.
I was like, don't ask me to do that, because I'm not playing that.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see Gabby watch this video. We'll watch it and we'll just post it.
Dead ass. Y'all, I'm like, I love movies so much, and it's so hard for me to watch horror films because I'm just scary as shit, y'all. I'm so like
scary. She was so scared. It was so funny.
It was so many jump scares in this movie, and I like horror films that have a lot of jump scares, to be completely honest, because I don't know what's gonna come out my mouth. Like, I talk throughout the entirety of a horror film. Like, I will commentate the entire horror film because I'm like, why would you do that? Why are you going in that closet? Why are you going in the kitchen? You knew it was in the kitchen when you got there, so why you acting surprised? So I
have a friend that does that too. And I remember one time we went to the movies and saw a scary movie, and she was doing it like in the theater. And other people probably were like, "What the girl? Shut up!" But I was like, "This is so funny."
Entertaining, yo.
Like, it makes the movie like 10 times more fun. Yeah.
But I really like this film. I like the movie. And I'm just gonna start talking a little bit about like stuff that kind of happened throughout the film. I don't want to give too much away, because this is one of those movies where I'm like, yo, you gotta go watch this shit. I don't want to give too much away. I won't tell you how people died, but what I will say is, there's the film starts off like the girl is struggling with Zoom, like everybody has in the past. Everybody does struggle with Zoom, but she starts getting all of her friends online to start doing this like seance thing. I think it's for somebody. Was it for somebody's birthday? I forget whose birthday it was.
I can't remember.
Or was it just random?
I think it was just random. She said that she was the only one that's ever done this before. But she's like, everybody go and grab like, your own little trinkets for people you want to talk to and who they relate to and stuff. But
yeah. And the thing that I wanted to point out in this movie is Gemma. Sorry. Gemma.
Yeah.
I got no words for that girl. She can go live in hell, because I'm sick of that. Okay. She was up here playing games, getting them involved in some shit that she didn't even know was gonna happen, but still, like,
but even then she knew it was gonna happen, because the medium kept saying like, you gotta take this serious, and her friend Haley was like, you have to take this serious. And I think that's the thing that's really annoying with like people who really don't believe in stuff. They like make jokes out of it, and like they make the whole experience, even if it's not real, you just ruin the experience for everybody.
Yeah. So, and this is the prime example of somebody ruining the experience for everybody, but not only ruining the experience, ruining their lives. Okay.
Like, listen, Mr. Spirit, I did not. It was not me. Why you gotta take me out?
Right. Spirit came through. Spirit said, look, y'all want to talk demonic spirits? I'm here. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was, look, but I wanted to point that out too, because she wasn't taking it seriously, y'all. And because she wasn't taking it seriously, a lot of shit popped off in the group. I felt so bad for, I forget the guy's name that was in there. Oh my gosh.
Teddy.
Teddy. I feel so bad for Teddy, because Teddy dipped out in the middle of the Zoom call, y'all. He was like at the beginning, like he wasn't even involved in the Zoom call. Let me tell y'all.
Yeah,
And
and
then
the only reason that he dipped out is because his girlfriend that they all didn't like. She was
yeah,
she kind of made me mad because she like clicked out
yeah,
of it in the middle of the seance. I hate people like that, and I hate
uh-huh,
people like Gemma, people
yeah,
who don't take it serious, and then other people who
mm-hmm,
will be like, "This is boring. I'm leaving." Like,
right,
no, you can't,
mm-hmm.
you can't
You
break
can't be
the
leaving,
virtual circle.
right? Like that wouldn't make sense. So she broke the virtual circle, and so they were not a part of it. He should have just stayed out of it, ate his food with it. I would have came back into the Zoom call because I don't know what the hell y'all doing now. So,
Yeah, I'm
but
like, I
I
would not
felt
have
so
came
bad because
back.
he came back in, and then I'm not gonna say how he died.
But
I'm
he
gonna say
got
he didn't make it,
dragged.
y'all. He
He
got
didn't
dragged,
make it.
y'all. He ain't make it. I think he got the worst out of everybody, to be completely honest. I
I'm trying to think.
I'm really trying to think. He probably got the worst
Like,
out of everybody,
I probably think that the worst one,
or not
I
the
feel like the
Caroline
one
girl.
that's leading up to the worst one was
Hmm.
the one girl that was like on the camera by herself at a certain point because Gemma hung up and
Oh
then Teddy
yeah,
came back in. She probably
yep.
had the worst death leading up to it because
Uh
like
huh.
everybody else, like one of the girls got dragged from her chair, like her chair got dragged.
She
And
got
then
dragged, and it was so funny, y'all.
And
I
then the
laughed.
other girl, she just had like smoke coming out of her stuff, and then her like
Yeah.
something happened and she started running and then she died. And
Hmm.
like, but this one, like this thing was in the house. She put a face filter on it, some powder on it. Like she's seen him. He honestly played games with her more than he did
Yeah,
with
he did with
he
everybody
or
else.
she, the entity
Yeah.
did with anybody. This
Yep.
entity played more with this character than anybody in there, and that is probably the worst to
And
me.
killed her boyfriend too. Like just
No,
dropped that
not
dude
that
out
one.
the sky.
Not
Was
that
it
one. The
her?
one
No, because it
girl
was it. It
that's
was.
the one. But the other girl was the one that had the wine glass and it broke on the camera.
Oh, okay,
She
okay.
was the
That's
one that was hiding,
Caroline.
doing the face filters.
Oh, okay. No, what's that? Oh yeah, because she was under the cover. Who am I thinking of that did the That was Caroline. It was
Yeah.
Caroline. She was
Oh, Caroline.
oh Caroline. Okay, so Caroline. So let me tell y'all
Oh,
about her.
damn.
This was funny. I should not be laughing. Okay, what
Oh,
the
Caroline.
what the damn spirit did was okay because he made Caroline look like she was just okay and that she was just like
Yeah,
going
so
off.
previously she set up a video with Zoom. You can set up a video that like plays in the background. Like if you don't want to
Yeah,
be here, you can set this video to look like this.
yep,
And
and
it'd be
just
like, oh, she's so intrigued in the Zoom call. So she sent a
yep,
video to where she's walking around in the like walking around in the
yep.
background. And go ahead, Gabby.
And then all you see is everybody like Caroline because they try to like call out her name to
Yeah, and
see if she was
the
saying it.
random numbers and letters is popping up in the chat.
Random numbers and letters were popping up in the chat, and then all you see is Caroline. Her whole like face is bloody, and her hair getting banged into the laptop. Like, so I shouldn't have laughed, but it was so funny because it was like, damn, what's happening to Caroline? And the random numbers and stuff was coming from Caroline because her head was getting smashed into the laptop. Anyways,
I
I
feel
shouldn't
so
be
bad for
laughing,
her
y'all.
because
I felt bad. She didn't want to
that
be
did
there.
not want to be a part of it,
She did
it
not
was
want to be there.
her. Like
She
she
was
was
like,
probably the most scariest one and did not want
yeah,
like anything bad to happen to her. Y'all,
it didn't.
I think she was like probably the first one to actually like have a whole
Yep.
like have like see the entity because well, I mean, shoot, she
Yeah.
didn't even really see it. There's like a scene where she goes upstairs, like into
Mm-hmm.
her attic. First of all, who going in the attic in the middle of
Attic,
the night?
right? That's what I was thinking too. Like she saw. Why would you go into the attic
She
if
said,
you
"I hear
trying to?
something in the attic," and then you would.
I would be
I would
like,
have been
it could have
like, "Oh
stayed in the attic.
no,
I wouldn't
no."
have let that spirit out. That spirit could have stayed in the attic.
For real, it's like you go ahead, have
Hmm.
fun.
Right. All she
Yeah.
did was let that hoe out, and he just
Basically, y'all,
ran
she
ran
goes
with
up
it.
there and she like has her like selfie stick. First of all, I ain't seen a selfie stick in so
Just
long.
go on,
But she took her selfie stick up into that basement and her friends are like looking and she's like, she can't really see because she has it on the selfie stick. So just
Yeah.
imagine you like just all you can see is your
is
hand up in
the
this
hand.
darkness and your friends like all the way up there. And she pulled it down. They're like, no, it's nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing. Calm down. It was nothing. I'm like, why are y'all lying to her? I'm like, come
They
on.
lied to my good sis. They lied to my good sis because there was some shit up there that I saw. I know I saw some shit, so I know they saw some shit too.
Y'all, I had to low key. I don't know if Gabby knows this, but I had to play it back. I put it back a second. Like I played it back because Gabby was covering her face. Y'all, she was covering her face.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
She was. She was.
I was covering my face.
She was like, she said, what is that? Oh no,
Because I had started looking at my phone, y'all, and because I didn't want to pay attention too hard, because I felt like if I was paying attention too hard, that I was gonna be a part of the seance.
And I was like, this is important. I was like, this is important. Let me play this back.
I was like, how she gonna rewind it back on me? But, it was so, y'all. This movie was really good. Like, it was short. If your attention span is not long, like mine isn't nowadays, like you can't sit there for 2 hours and watch a movie. It's the perfect time. It's as short as like an episode of a TV show, but it's so good. Like
TV show.
Yeah, it gets right to the point. It's one of those movies where you feel like maybe they could have expanded a tad bit when it comes to like just character development to make you feel a little bit more closer to the characters. But it's a horror film. Like, I don't think that's the part of the horror film, because if you get too connected with a character in a horror film,
like you really
bound to die.
Yeah,
they bound to die. So why would you get connected?
Yeah, but, I really like this movie like a lot, and I think someone had posted like they posted another movie, and they were like, it was the first movie like filmed during the pandemic, and Rob Savage was like, actually,
first of all,
like. First of all,
let me pull up the receipts on you.
Yeah, it really is different. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as like every other movie. Like, we have something different.
He did what he had to do. I think what's so interesting about this film too is everything was filmed via Zoom. I mean, there were moments where it literally, you could see like maybe there was a camera there, so that like the ending, it was camera because they were both in the same room. But there is most of it was shot through Zoom, and so everything that was happening in the movie, like I know horror films, there's was it special effects people that make things happen in the back. They did a really good job at making it, like pulling this off and making it look like, okay, this is on an actual Zoom call. People are getting pulled. Her chair got pulled at one point. I was like, I didn't see how her chair got pulled, but but you can only see a certain area of the area of the room. So there's only so many places where they can like make things happen, and they did a really good job.
Yeah, because honestly, if you think about like if it was like it kind of was like in the same realm. It was not like this movie that I'm about to compare it to was not as good as this movie. It's nowhere near as good as this movie. But like the way that it was framed was like the movie Unfriended, like with the camera boxes. And like you have one angle and one angle only, and if the actor wants to move you this way, the actor's gonna move you that way. But like you don't have any special like camera operators, crane in shots and stuff like that. Like we are in one spot and one spot only. And I think that's like my favorite thing about watching movies like this is like it's always nice to watch a movie where so much is going on and you're like, oh my God, you can go back and see something different. But it's I feel like it's like 10 times better to watch something, and it's like more scary and like when it's one spot and you cannot not
move. Like, because in other films, like horror films, there's like so much. They're in a forest, you can look all over the place. They might be in a house, but there's like so many different areas within the house that you can see. But like with one camera shot, like how we look right now, you can only see like what's on the side of me, and that's it. Like just right here, or what's behind me. You can't see what's in front of me. Like if I'm sitting at a computer right now, but I'm like in the wall I'm right here near the wall, you can't see what's on the other side of the wall. So if they, it's all actors, like the actors and the actresses have to act their ass off if you can't see everything else that's going on.
And there's something like 10 times more. There's something 10 times more scary about like a person's on the like on video and then they just like
some shit start happening, because then you get scared as the person that's
Yeah,
not,
and they like
the other
stop and
person.
they're like looking and you don't know what they're looking at because they're not turning
Right.
the camera that way. Or like if
Yep.
they're like stopping and they just like
Yep.
look behind them, you can't see anything over here. But like
Yep.
if it was a full shot, you would see it. But then we have
Uh-huh.
to like make it to where the
Uh-huh.
idea is more scarier than seeing the object
Abject. Yep.
sometimes. And like
Yep.
so with this movie, they
Yep.
play on the idea of something being there
I was like,
more
say that
than
again. The
yeah, more
object.
than the
Yep.
object. Like
Yep.
they have a couple moments where you see like with Teddy where you see the actual monster
Actual. Yep.
and it takes you aback because this is the first time you've actually
You
like
actually get to see it.
yeah, like you I
Yeah.
mean you've seen him with the face filter on, which okay,
That you can't.
yeah, you've seen
Yeah.
it with like the picture that she took in her apartment from like with the
Yeah.
legs, and then you also see it later with the legs again. But this is the first time you're actually seeing the face,
Seeing the face.
and I
Yeah.
think you see it like a second time,
At the end of the movie.
yeah, at the very
Yeah.
end. But like
Hmm.
that's it. That's you
That's
only
it.
see it twice.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of movies
It's
rob
so much scarier.
themselves. A lot of movies rob themselves by overplaying and overdoing the object that
Hmm.
is supposed to be scary when you can just
Hmm.
play on the thought. The thought is
Yep.
10 times more scarier
More
than
scarier. The
yeah,
actual
like because
object. Yep.
people really start to like overthink and they start like
Hmm.
getting into their psyche and that's
Imagining
scarier.
all types of stuff.
Yeah,
That's what.
that's scary.
And so this takes me back to what I said when I mentioned that, you remember last time in our last podcast, I said that what people imagine, like a lot of that shit might be real, because you start imagining like so many different things. People start creating those things, and it's just like your mind can just go, when it comes to like stuff that's scary.
Yeah.
In this case, I want you to say it again. The idea, or I could say it again for you. The
Yeah.
idea, because that was a word. Okay, it was a word, y'all. Okay, the idea is more scary than the actual object. So a lot of times when you're looking at scary movies like Freddy Krueger, or what's the other one, Jason. I'm trying to just give y'all ideas. Chucky, like you see the actual object, you see the character. They're the character, but I'm gonna call them an object in this case. You see them
Hmm.
so much that you don't really get scared of them when they do pop up, because you already know what to expect. Whereas films like this, you don't know what to expect. You don't know how that that monster
Yeah,
gonna look.
because so much
So
can
when they don't
happen.
show
Like
you, yeah,
it's like this and like the
yeah,
Blair Witch. Like
yeah,
you don't know
no,
what
and
this
at
thing
all.
is.
So
Like
you
with
thinking of
movies
everything.
like movies like Paranormal Activity, you
Yep.
don't know this spirit.
No.
That's
That's why
when
people
the
were so
movie
scared of
started like
Paranormal
yeah, like the
Activity.
franchise started getting like bad because they kept playing on the object. They kept showing the
Yep.
object. Okay,
Yep.
we get it.
We get
Okay,
it.
it's
Yep.
some demons. But the first one, you didn't know
No
what the
one.
hell it
What's
was
going
or
on?
what the hell was going on. So you were
Hmm.
like, that's scary. I think it's
Yep.
just the fact that like people love to have control over life and their
Hmm.
ideas and their surroundings. And when you
Yep.
can't and you don't understand it, you can't compute it.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I don't like
Shoot.
that. I don't like
Yep.
that. And so
Yeah.
we equate I don't like that,
Like
but I'm
that, where
scared.
I'm scared. Yep. Yep.
Like, I
And
don't like that. That's
we could
different.
go and we could go into so many different, like I could talk to y'all about socio and stuff, but we ain't got to go that deep, like sociology,
That's for
sociologically,
another
how that
video.
works. Yeah, that's for another video. But like that's real life too, like, talking about fear, how people fear what they don't know.
Yep.
It's very much the case when it comes to, scary movies like this, and this movie did an extremely good job at doing that.
Hmm.
We ain't got to say too much more. What's really good about this movie is how short it is, and then also I don't want to give you guys too much information on, because I like this movie. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You got to go watch this one to figure out what the hell gonna happen. We ain't gonna, spoil it for you, but I really like this movie, just simply because of, one, how short it is, but two, um, how good the actors and the actresses were at playing their part. Um,
Hmm.
there were so many emotions drawn from it. Like I didn't get a real like connection. Of course, I already mentioned this, like where you can get connected with the character because of how their story was built throughout the film. It wasn't long enough of a movie to do that. But with this movie specifically, like I felt as though they did an extremely good job in just drawing out your emotions, because you literally don't have anything else to look at but their faces as all of this shit is happening. Like you can just see the terror of,
Yeah.
of Gemma's bad decision or
Yeah.
Gemma's bad decision because she didn't want to take the shit seriously. But yeah, that's why I really like the film. To be
Yeah.
completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Artistry. How did you rate this film? Let's get into ratings.
I'm giving it a 10 because it was so
I am.
creative.
It was.
I mean, like the creativity of it
Yep.
in the middle of like
Yep.
all the stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, give her flowers. She should have
Mm-hmm.
been nominated for some stuff. It's fine. They don't really
Yep.
rate horror movies. And like
Mm-hmm.
just the cast was really good at like
Mm-hmm.
the casting was so good at like depicting
Mm-hmm.
like different types of friendships. Like
Yep.
Haley and Gemma are friends,
Our
are good
friends.
friends.
Yep.
However, Gemma pisses her off sometimes, and so
Yep.
they like butt heads. But
You
it's
see
not
the
like
friendship
forced,
part.
and they're not butting
Yep.
heads the entire time. Because I hate it when movies play the whole
Mm-hmm.
they hate each other but they're friends, and they just say
Yep.
snarky stuff to each other back and forth the
Back and
entire
forth.
movie.
Yep.
No, there are people that you're friends with that sometimes they get on your nerves, but like you can
And
have a normal conversation with them,
conversation.
and I'm
Absolutely.
not like biting at them the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed.
Yep.
I'm giving it a 10.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving it a 10 too. When it comes to artistry, she said pretty much everything I probably would have said. I will say I gave it a 10 also because there was this one moment in the film. I'm just gonna spoil this for y'all. I don't really care because it was really funny. There was this one point in the film where the lady, the medium, asked, "Hey, if you can hear this, do two knocks." And so it knocked twice, but it was actually her door to go get her food. So like, I was like, "That's me."
She
That's
said, "Oh
me.
my god, I'm so
Oh my god, she
sorry."
said, "I'm
And
so
she had like this
sorry. That's
really
my
thick accent.
food."
She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so
So
sorry."
sorry.
I
I was like, "Girl,
forgotten.
that's
I'm
me. I
like,
ordered something the other day too."
you
Like,
said, "Oh yeah, girl, that was actually my food. I'll be
I was
back,
like,
y'all."
she's I'll be back. She's scaring everybody. She done left.
They
And so,
said, "Oh
oh
no."
my, oh no. They said, "Oh no, oh no."
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my favorite part. Anyways, messaging. This is one of those things where I added in just the writing itself was really good. There wasn't much to say other than screaming the entirety of the time, but they did a really good job at depicting that screaming. I will tell you that. And I think um, for it to be, or for it to have kind of come out during the right period of time, like pandemic wise, everybody's doing things through Zoom, perfect timing. So I give it a 10 on the
I'm
message
giving
part.
it a 10 too.
Mhm.
Because I definitely think it changed the game of like
Yep.
horror.
Yep.
Especially because there are so many people that
Hmm.
like want to do pandemic movies, but they want to make
Yep.
it like, oh, like there's
It's
zombies
cheesy.
and all this stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
you can't equate the stuff we used to watch with what's happening right
What's
now
happening
because
right
we're
now?
living in
Yeah.
it. So the only
Yeah.
thing you can equate is we are on
Me.
Zoom constantly.
Hmm.
That's that like we do this. So
Yep.
that's
But the other
scary.
stuff that, yeah, I was like, the other stuff
Yeah.
outside of
So
that,
like
like,
doing demons and monsters and ghosts, okay, cute. But
cute. But
us getting freaking
one
violated
staple.
through a Zoom.
Call, like, yeah, that's something. Like,
Yeah,
that
like
would
it's
make
our
me,
only form of communication
yeah.
because we can't even see
Hmm.
people.
Right.
Like and you just
It's
took that
stressful,
too.
okay? And you just took that away from me. Now I can't even
Yeah.
get on a Zoom call. That's why I'm glad I don't use Zoom throughout work. I use Zoom for these conversations, y'all. We use Zoom for these conversations,
Yeah, I
but
don't really
we
use it
don't. I don't use it for
much.
work. We have something else at work. I'm not gonna say what it is because then that'll give away where I work. I don't want to do that right now because I don't need y'all to know. But um, we don't. It's similar to Zoom, but we don't use Zoom. So I'm thankful for that because I don't know what type of shit popped off on Zoom. Watching
Yeah.
that movie and her doing that seance, now I had to light some candles, and when them candles go out, I don't know what's gonna happen, y'all. So um, I'm still nervous.
I'm
Y'all don't
so
hear from me.
dead. She said,
Just
"Y'all
know
don't
it
hear
was
me."
Ember's fault.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right,
y'all
cinematography,
listen.
y'all. Cinematography. I
uh,
rated a 10. I gave it a 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just give everything a 10.
Everything a
She's
10.
got
This is a 10
10s
out of 10.
across the boards for
Uh-huh.
me. I've seen the
Yep.
movie like 6 times. So
Yep.
like every time I notice something like that, I'm like, that is so good. Like,
Yep.
oh my God. And I don't get
Mhm.
scared that often, but I told Gabby when I told her about the movie, I was like, Gabby, it's scary. Like it actually
Mhm.
is scary. Cause
Yep.
like it got me. Not to the point where I was like, I get scared. When I get scared, it's not like
Mhm.
a oh my God. It's like I'm about to think
It is
about
for me.
this. I'm about to think about this
She said
all
I'm about to
night.
think about this.
And that
Not
scares
me.
that's what how I get scared. I'm like, ooh,
I'm
I'm think
I'm
about
screaming scared. I'm gonna go ahead and get that hoe out while I'm watching it, and then when I'm done, I'm done. I ain't watching that shit no more. She
Mm-mm.
ain't gotta ever tell me to watch it again. It was good.
She said, okay, I don't have to watch
If
that
I watch it in
again.
a group with somebody else, I'll watch it again. But if by myself, hell no.
Y'all, we watched it in
My
the
language.
daytime too.
Yep, I don't care. Shit, it's still scary. She called me screaming. She called me laughing too. I was screaming. I said,
Y'all,
she's like,
and I'm muted, so she can't even hear me. I'm busting up. I am dying. Like,
it wasn't even that type of scream. It was like a I'm trying to think of like what type of it was like like it came from like my chest. It was kind of like guttural scream, like long and like it wasn't even
oh
like
my
a
God.
scream. It was like a
No,
okay. It was good, y'all. I highly recommend this film. Ember, you have any last words in terms of host? How did how you feeling? All is
yeah.
well.
If you want to watch the film, it's
Yep.
on Shudder. We
Mhm.
don't have a sponsorship with Shudder. However, if you like
Mhm.
watch like horror YouTubers like
Yep.
John Wolf or
Mhm.
we ain't got a sponsorship with him either.
Mhm.
Or you watch Dead Meat or listen to their podcast, they
Mhm.
usually are partnered with them, so you can get like a 30-day subscription for free,
Yep.
which is nice. Or if you
Yep.
don't want to go through all that, you can get a 7-day subscription. Watch it for
Yep.
the day. Make sure you remember
Mhm.
your card is on file, and
Right, because they'll charge your ass. They
because
real
they'll
good at that.
charge you. But
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely 10 out of 10 recommended.
Yep.
I thought it was good because I didn't ruin it. I want you to actually watch
I
it.
want you to watch it, y'all.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one I definitely say 10 out of
Yeah.
10 would recommend. Go watch it. It's
Would.
on Shudder. Not like
Yep.
Shutters, like Shudder.
Shudder.
Ooh, Shudder.
SHUDDER. If y'all don't
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, without further ado, this is the Black Reviewer. Thank y'all for watching this one. Remember, check out our YouTube, check out our podcast. It's on Spotify, the Spotify. Um, and also go check out our social medias as well. We'll be posting our videos as well as our podcast on there for you to view. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, Ember, what we like to say,
Get into
get into it.
it.